She's one of the few people in the world that has the honor and distinction of saying she got to star in a movie with Britney Spears. Come on. The very lovely Taryn Manning. Let's bring her on up here.
That was funny.
See, I'm trying to negate the Britney Spears questions because I just get that right out of the way there.
Yeah, but I don't mind them.
First of all, thank you so much for coming to Dallas. It's really cool to have you here. Uh-oh, did we lose audio?
Hello, check. Hi. No, we're good.
Yeah, it's just really soft.
I have family in Austin, so it's not too out of, my world to be here.
Cool. I don't know, can we get this turned up?
Yeah, these are not.
These are not turned up very loud. Okay. Thank you, Adam. One thing that's really cool, I was mentioning to the crowd before we got here, this is actually the 10th anniversary of the Angelica Theater, so having you here this week is a real honor, because you're kind of being a part of that whole 10th anniversary. It was really cool.
Amazing. Congrats, Peter. That's amazing.
Absolutely. So thank you for bringing this film to us. Now,
I like this theater. It's pretty.
The Perfect Age of Rock and Roll, right off the bat, I wanted to bring up that this was a film that you guys made a couple of years ago. And
3 years ago.
3 years ago. And sometimes people don't realize that when it comes to, especially like an independent film, it can be a really hard process to get it from start to finish and to actually get it out there and get it released. But it's out there now, and people are finally getting a chance to see it. And was there? You had mentioned something to me about, I think you guys had planned on trying to get it out about a year or so ago originally.
Anytime you make a film, it's about a year, maybe 2 at the most. But this one took 3.
Yeah.
So it was a little longer than normal.
Okay. Well, cool. And also, just because I know that it's an inevitable question, with the recent passing of Amy Winehouse, and obviously in the movie there is, kind of that line of dialogue about the age of 27. I think it's important to note this film is in no way trying to capitalize on that. This was a film that was done, finished 3 years ago. If anyone even wants to try to use that excuse, it's silly. But there is something very kind of interesting about that, about the famous rock stars that have passed away at 27. And I think it kind of makes this more timely, if anything else. It makes it something it's a very timely subject matter, and I don't want to say it's a great selling point, but it's in a way it's kind of nice that this movie is coming out now, because it does show, kind of the background of what it can be like in that lifestyle.
Yeah, I just got back from New York City, and a lot of my interviews were about her and what happened, and respectfully, I was a fan, and it's tragic. It's very tragic, and I don't know what's up with that age. Does anybody know, why? Of course, we've lost several people at different ages. Several greats. Michael was 50. It's not 27, but if you really look and you really go on Wikipedia and you see how many people have passed at 27, it's really bizarre, And I don't have the answer.
Yeah, it's almost like the managers of these guys, when they turn 27, they should lock them away for a year and just say, okay, we'll come back for the big reunion tour
when
a
you
year
make
later.
28, you can
28.
go back out. But Amy was amazing, and I did a Showbiz Tonight piece, and they did a tally if she deserves to be in the 27 club, which I think is just somewhat hideous, to be honest with you. I do. I don't like the way that they've sensationalized that. And it was 85% no and 15 yes. But to me, she was a part of the younger generation. She's very relevant right now for young women, young men, and she died tragically. Trying to get sober. She died of alcohol withdrawal. That's pretty serious stuff.
Yeah.
That's someone in a lot of pain.
Yeah. But she leaves behind a great body of work, too.
Yeah, and 5 Grammys.
Yeah, absolutely. I wanted to ask you, first of all, because one of the things I enjoyed about watching this movie was seeing certain different people that would pop up and getting a chance to work with some of these legends like Peter Fonda. That's got to be just a trip, because I've been around Peter Fonda, and that guy is hilarious.
He's hilarious.
Yeah.
He's super eccentric. He told us several stories about Easy Rider and all his days. Yeah. I mean, he loved to just sort of like talk to us about like all of his, all of his past, and he's a funny guy for sure.
Yeah. And then did you know when you guys filmed it, because it kind of looks like it might be one of those scenes that was filmed like later, and did you know Billy D. Williams was going to be the voice screaming at you on the phone?
No, I didn't. No, actually, no. But because we didn't do that together.
Yeah.
You know how films work. It's like that's the one thing about films. It's like I was talking, I think, to the screen, like the script supervisor, like completely unenthusiastic. I'm like, can you give me something? Like I'm really like trying to talk, But that's just how films work, That's what being an actor is about. It's about acting and pretending. But when I found out that was the voice on the other line, I was definitely chuffed.
Yeah, that's very cool. Guys, be thinking if you have questions. I want to go to the audience, and we'll take questions from the audience here in just a minute. So be thinking about your questions, and I'll call on you in order if I can. I did want to ask you, because I mean, you have a career that spans over both acting as well as music. How much of this movie do you feel, or how much of this type of thing have you seen in your own personal experience, not necessarily with yourself, but maybe people around you, and have you had any sort of personal experiences that sort of tie into maybe some of the events that took place in the film that you can talk about?
Really?
Or would you rather not?
I mean, I have a band called Boom Cats with my brother. And, woo, thank you, I heard that. And my bro, it turns out I was very, very, very young, naive, not used to like what someone looks like when they're on drugs. Like I didn't know. But it turns out my brother was, using very heavily during our touring, and, basically like more or less sabotaged that entire situation. But my brother's sober now, and we're very proud of him. Yes. Very, very, very grateful. He worked very hard to overcome his addiction. So for me, when I got the part, I completely related to everything in this film. From the band to even my silly road managers I had. So I definitely felt that I could fit in and do my part to like give that part justice. And I realized that Rose made a lot of mistakes while under the influence, and I really wanted to make sure that as a character and as a character arc that you really could see her regret in the choices that she made, because I really feel that she realized in that moment like what she'd done wrong, and that was important to me when I took the role, to find that redeeming quality in her.
Yeah. Does anybody have a question I can start it off on the audience here with?
I've heard you sing, and on Hustle and Flow, you didn't sing, and in this movie, you didn't sing.
I can't always sing.
I want you to sing.
I know.
Do you have any plans to do a movie where you're going to sing in the movie?
I mean, it's funny you asked that. Like this press tour about this film, several people have asked me like my dream role, and it's definitely like a Moulin Rouge, Chicago. I mean, I grew up, I was a ballerina. Like I wasn't even gonna act. And then my singing, my father was a singer, and I sang my entire childhood, and acting was like the last thing I got into. So, yeah, I mean, I can't sing in every film, I gotta separate it.
How long did the shoot last, and like how did you get attached to the project originally? And how come nobody smoked weed in the movie? That's the only thing I was like,
I think Peter Fonda smoked weed in the movie.
Yeah.
Stars do coke and fucking.
Actually, I guarantee Peter Fonda smoked weed, but
like no weed.
Yeah. So which one do you want to know?
Yeah.
first?
How did you get attached to the project, and how long did it take to shoot?
Honestly, it was an audition. Like I auditioned for it. It's not like always that easy. You don't just get offers. So
Right.
I got the script. I read it. I wanted to have a try at it, and I got it. And I was very happy. Thank you.
anybody else? Right here.
First of all, that film was really good, and it really just attacked every key point of, and I think any type of challenging industry, but especially as big as that, and all that influence. But also, I just wanted to ask, was the guy who played Spider, was he really, was that a hard thing for him to really, like that character, was that a hard thing for him to get, just by your observation of him off the set? Was he really a little bit like that? Did he already have a little bit of that rocker in him? Or was he just totally like book nerd who just.
No, I'm gonna address your question very, very honestly right now, just because like I'm here representing this film, and we're missing very, very pivotal, like, you know, poignant people. So I'm just gonna do the best I can. Kevin Zegers is an amazing actor, amazing. He was extremely young at the time, 23. I mean, that's, you know, and that was him playing him older, which they were gonna cast Patrick Swayze.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like so they were gonna cast him, but after they met Kevin and they realized like the depth of him as a person, they got like more money for prosthetics and they ended up using Kevin. But Kevin's sober, and he struggles, you know, with addiction, which he'll probably talk about. So as far as being like a rock star, no, not at all. He's like somewhat of a jaded, young, had a lot of success very soon actor, and was kind of a handful to work with, but at the same time is the most legitimate actor because he's so far from that, I mean, you saw what you saw. That's acting. Like that is the point of acting. So, but that was him singing. And that was Jason Ritter playing.
That's very
And
impressive.
that to me is like, you know, Jason made sure that he was shot, you know, because a lot of movies, like when people pretend to play, they'll do like a close-up, like, yeah, and then they'll like insert the hand of like another player. You know, that's the thing about movies that are annoying. But Jason made sure that, like, you know, get me from here up, because I'm playing, and that means a lot to me that everybody knows that I'm playing. You know, that meant a lot to Jason and to Kevin, so.
Thank you.
Does that answer your question?
Yep, perfect.
Okay.
One thing I did want to ask you that I was thinking about earlier was, it seems like did you spend a lot of time on the road? Because so much of this film, it almost looks like you literally shot it on the road.
Yeah, that was your question, like how
Yeah.
long did it take? I can't remember, it was 3 years ago. How long? How long was it? I think it was like shot in like 20 days, like something ridiculous. But that's everything now,
insane.
because that's a budget. It's like but you know what I will say? I love Scott Rosenbaum. That's the director of this film. Which I so wish he was here. He's an amazing person. He gave us 2 weeks of rehearsal. That's like unheard of now. Usually you like get a film and like right away you're like, first day on the set, you're like, hi, you're playing my lover. Nice to meet you. And it's really hard, you know, it's really hard to like connect, you know, but I think rehearsal with anything, whether you're on Broadway or a film or a band, like rehearsal is key. You know, that's how you flush out all the ideas and nuances, and that's why I respect Scott so much, because like he gave us 2 weeks to sit together and get to know each other, and I feel like that really popped off screen, you know, like just that camaraderie
Yeah.
and that closeness, because when you're a band, you know, it's heavy duty. It's not like all glamorous.
That's amazing to me that they could shoot something like this in 20 days.
Yeah, I mean,
it's-
that's not like
and-
exact. That's
yeah.
why I don't remember, but it was quick. I know that.
Yeah. Wow, unbelievable. Over here.
So talking about the camaraderie, in the film, the Guess Who game, was that like part of it, or was that something that kind of was like ad-lib, that kind of got added on, and kind of going with that? Did you really know those songs? Like, are you that well versed in music? You actually did kind of like know those?
How well do you know your
Oh my
music?
God.
How well do you know your rock and roll?
I know my rock and roll, but that was in the script, which I give all the credit to the director for that. No, that was in the script. I did not, like, I knew them once I learned it, but no, I'm not gonna lie. Like, that was in the script. But, sorry. But I do know rock and roll, I do.
Did you want to sing a couple bars and she'll see if she can
I'm gonna
identify?
put you on the spot now.
Because we could do that. Do we have another question?
Good question, though. Respect.
That was a good one. Another question? Nobody has a question? Really? Okay. Oh, right here. Yes.
I have a question. Like at the ending, they kind of leave it like make it to your imagination. Do you know if his character, Jason Ritter's character, did he actually die or did he actually live?
That is a good question. What do you think happened to Jason Ritter's character?
What do you think happened?
That's the whole thing, but I don't know.
Well, that.
He pulled the Thelma and Louise. Yeah.
He was driving the same car that James Dean killed it.
Wow.
Silver Spider.
Really? Who's saying that? Raise your hand. Really?
Yeah, Jason
Wow.
was killed in a silver spider force.
Wow, that's a very astute observation.
Put it up on Wikipedia. So.
Nice. Basically, like, just, you know, bringing it back to my character, which, you know, I mean, it's just me, so, you know, I didn't say Taryn, I said
What do you
Rose.
think you did to Jason Ritter? No, I'm just.
Yes, exactly. So, as I was saying, it was very important to me to so just so you guys know, I had the luxury, that scene at the end where, you know, I'm you know, we're celebrating and I'm, you know, using drugs and under the influence. Scott let the cameras roll so I could just really, like, do my thing, you know, because I really felt like I had a lot more to say than that was on the script, and I very respect him for that. And he told me that he wished he could make a short film out of what I did, because I pretty much lost my mind. It's the first time I really, not the first, but like one of a few times I've literally been transcended to a whole other zone, like gone. Like I was not Taryn at all. And what happened was I felt so guilty. What are you laughing at?
Sorry, not you.
Okay.
Promise.
Rose felt so guilty about her choice. You know, it's so terrible, because I think she knew at that moment that she might have lost the love of her life. And, you know, he drove away, and that's that. And
Well, that's the interesting thing about the film, is that everybody loses something. Like, you know, Peter Fonda kind of loses his love of the game,
right.
you know, and Jason Ritter loses you. You lose him. Kevin's character, you know, loses his childhood
Mind.
friend. I mean, it's like everybody loses something. So it's kind of one of those, all the decisions that you guys make in the film are what ultimately cause you to lose what you care about most.
Exactly, and that's, you know, I think that's what you can take from this film. Like, you know, I don't know, you know, I'm sure several of you have children, but, you know, life's about choices. Like, you know, you make a choice, and that's gonna take you one way or the other, and that's the game of life. It's like, who knows, but apparently when you die, you get to, like, see, like, oh, if I would have, oh, man. But I don't know how you believe. I'm not trying to get religious on anybody. But
Okay, we'll take one last
Right here,
question.
over there.
Oh, wait, right here? Okay. I'm going to get to you next, okay. Oh, who kissed better?
I don't know.
Or Billy D? Which was it? No, I'm just kidding.
Both Kevin and Jason, respectively, had very, you know, very supportive girlfriends. So I lose myself. I don't, you know, it's a very tricky situation, and I just really have to just go somewhere else, respectfully.
Right here.
I just have a question. What are you currently working on?
What are you currently working on?
Thank you for asking. What's that?
Or what besides this, since it's 3 years old, is there anything you've done in the meantime that's
Yeah.
been yourself?
I'm on Sons of Anarchy, which is an amazing show. I'm on Hawaii Five-0.
Yeah.
I play Alex O'Loughlin's sister, and I'll be back this season. I just did a movie for Sci-Fi Channel with Ving Rhames. I'm killing zombies, because that's like the newest craze right now. And I'm about to go do a film about the Manson girls. Yep.
Wow.
And
That was a really enthusiastic reaction to that, wasn't it?
it's a tricky situation, but
And you're also DJing and going to different clubs and things. And in fact, you guys, if you want, tomorrow night, you're going to be spinning at Wish, right? Is it Wish? At about 10 o'clock?
and you're all invited.
And you're all invited.
And you can
Wish
come up
tomorrow
and
night.
dance. So I do music too. Like, that's how I was attracted to this script. Like, I'm a musician first, like I shared with you earlier, and I also have a new record out, new single right now. Not that I'm trying to promote it, but
plug it.
it's a big part of my life. My new song is called "Turn It Up," and it's a dance hit song, and really music's sort of like my super passion. I love to act, but it's not every day that a good script comes along. So I have to find other ways to fulfill my heart.
And was there anybody else? I just want to make sure I didn't miss anybody. Sir, I saw you in the
Right
blue
here?
had one.
Oh.
Right here. For those that couldn't hear in the back, the Blues Club were those real musicians? and
Yes,
where was
they
it?
were. Sugar Blue. There's the one of the guys in that scene recently just passed away.
Pine Top.
Yes, yes. Those were all legitimate musicians. Like, that was an incredible day. Incredible. So, and I'm not sure, like, where we were. I think we were in New Jersey somewhere at some little random dive bar.
Well, speaking of musicians and bars and places like that, if you guys want to come see us tomorrow, we'll be at House of Blues. I'm going to be interviewing Taryn once again on stage, no pressure, in front of all these people eating at House of Blues. We'll be there at 2:30, so come by and see us at 2:30. More information at Big Fanboy. Twitter.com/BigFanboy. You can also follow Taryn on Twitter. She has a Twitter account. It's Taryn Manning at Twitter. So thank you so
guys
much.
so much. Thank you for
coming to
being
Dallas.
here.
Yeah.
So much.
Taryn Manning, ladies and gentlemen.